Welcome to Viking Week. Over the next 5 days, we're diving deep into the world of the Norse seafarers who shaped history with their daring raids, legendary explorations, and mysterious stories. Each day, we'll uncover a new aspect of Viking life, from the wild, fearless warriors known as the Berserkers to the unsolved mystery of the Greenland Vikings' disappearance. Along the way, we'll explore Viking mythology, their groundbreaking navigation skills, and much more. So grab your horned helmets, or not, they didn't actually wear those, and get ready for an epic journey into the heart of Viking history. Our Viking Week journey starts over 1,000 years ago, where we meet one of the most legendary figures in Norse history. Let's dive into the story of Leif Erikson, the Viking who may have set foot in North America long before Columbus. Leif Erikson, born around 970 AD, was the son of Eric the Red, a Viking chief famous for founding Greenland. Vikings like Eric and his family were explorers and settlers, always on the hunt for new lands. They didn't shy away from tough terrain or icy waters, and Leif, he was about to make history. Leif grew up hearing stories of his father's adventures and explorations. With a mix of fearlessness and curiosity, Leif wanted to carve out his own legacy. He learned to navigate, sail, and fight, the essentials of a Viking's life. Around the year 1000 AD, stories started circulating among the Vikings about a mysterious land to the west. A Norse trader, Bjarni Herjolfsson, claimed he'd sighted this land but hadn't actually explored it. Leif, inspired by the tale, decided to go beyond his father's Greenland. He wanted to find this new land for himself. With a crew of about 35 men, Leif set sail from Greenland across the icy waters. After days of navigating the wild North Atlantic, he finally spotted land, and he didn't just find one new place. According to the saga of the Greenlanders, he found 3 distinct areas. The first place Leif and his crew found was a rocky, icy area they named Helgeland, which likely corresponds to modern-day Baffin Island in Canada. This wasn't the lush land of Bjarni's story, so they moved on. Next, they landed in a forested region they named Markland, which is thought to be Labrador in eastern Canada. While promising, Leif and his men kept searching, eager to find the fertile land of the tales. Finally, they arrived at a land with green pastures, rivers full of salmon, and wild grapes. Leif named it Vinland, meaning wine land, a place that historians suggest was located somewhere in Newfoundland, possibly the site known as Lance Aux Meadows. Leif and his crew set up a camp, possibly like the one that has been uncovered at Lance Aux Meadows. Archaeologists discovered remnants of Norse-style buildings, iron tools, and other artifacts that suggest a Viking presence around the year 1000. This camp is likely the first European settlement in North America. Leif and his men spent the winter in Vinland. They explored, gathered resources, and possibly traded with indigenous people they encountered. However, the exact nature of these interactions is still up for debate. After the winter, Leif and his crew returned to Greenland with tales of Vinland's rich resources. This inspired others, including Leif's own family, to attempt more voyages west. Although there were some attempts to settle in Vinland, they didn't last, likely due to conflicts with indigenous peoples and the sheer difficulty of the journey. Even though the Vikings didn't establish a permanent colony, Leif Erikson's voyage changed history. He proved that lands existed across the Atlantic, sparking curiosity for centuries to come. Leif Erikson's story raises an interesting question. Was he really the first European to set foot in North America, hundreds of years before Christopher Columbus? While Columbus's voyages were more widely documented and had a lasting impact on European expansion into the Americas, Leif's journey represents the first known contact. This is now accepted by historians thanks to both Norse sagas and evidence from places like Lance Aux Meadows. The Norse sagas, written a couple hundred years after Leif's journey, provide an important glimpse into Viking exploration. They describe him as brave, curious, and committed to his journey, inspiring Viking legends. Today, Leif Erikson is celebrated in several countries, especially in the United States. Leif Erikson Day, observed on October 9th, honors his achievements and the cultural contributions of Scandinavian Americans. Statues of Leif stand in places like Iceland, Norway, and Minnesota, reminding us of his journey across the Atlantic. For many, Leif represents the Viking spirit of exploration and curiosity. Leif Erikson may not have become as famous as Columbus, but his legacy has left an indelible mark on history. He ventured bravely into unknown lands and may have been the first European to set foot in North America. So, the next time you hear about explorers, remember Leif Erikson, the Viking who followed the call of the wild Atlantic and found Vinland. If you enjoyed learning about Viking history, don't forget to like and subscribe and join us for the rest of Viking Week. We'll be exploring more interesting Viking stories the next few days. Thanks for stopping by Timely Tales. Let's dive into history one story at a time.